if you were to go to Shopify App Store today and search for reviews, you will see that there is 869 apps available. So product review apps are really a buyer's market. There's a lot of supply here. And in today's video, we are going to dive into just this. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you haven't liked this video, start with that. And let's get started with this comparison. So first of all, you need to understand that committing to a platform in general doesn't really matter as much because you always have a choice to move between them. It is in the platform's best interest to allow product review imports from other apps so that they can get you as a customer. So most review apps enable this. Now, one thing to consider here is that if you are collecting and having photo reviews, for example, and you are moving to an app without photos, then that would be kind of a waste of all that collection for photos. And vice versa, if you are moving from a platform without photos to a platform with photos, all of a sudden you won't have any photos, so it will look a little weird in the beginning. But here, so I'd say like that is the only consideration you need to have before you watch the video. Thank you very much, and let's jump into the screen share where I'll go over the top 5 Shopify apps for reviews in 2022. Enjoy!
Photo review app, number 1, definitely Loox when it comes to Shopify. So here, this is a super popular app. You have 8,000 reviews on this, and this is really good for visual brands. So if you have like, for example, a clothing store, you can definitely check this app out. Like you probably cannot go wrong with this one if you have a visual product. So you can see from their video as well, they're very focused on that kind of visual aspect, t-shirts, clothing products, etc. So here, like one thing that is really cool with Loox is that they have this user-generated content. So this is like a random store I found with Loox, but you can have people post their review and post photos as well. So this is a 3D printer, and this is what people have used that 3D printer for. So it's quite a good social proofing here. One neat feature with this one as well is that they do allow posting videos right now as well as then they have the ability to schedule email reminders to collect reviews, which to be honest is becoming more and more popular and like a standard thing. The Loox was one of the earlier ones with that, and were able to gather quite a bit of attention because of that. So that's pretty much Loox, and here's another example of a different niche and how they use it. You don't have to have a photo review to submit a review. You can configure this from the app settings so you can get a little bit more reviews. But yeah, this is Loox. Let's look into the next one. And the next one is pretty much a complete opposite when it comes to Loox, because this one is a bit more old school. I would say this is a well-known brand, quite expensive in many cases, but this is Trustpilot. So main feature really is that they have been around for so long that people just trust them, and they do this reviews. So like only like really qualified reviews go into the platform. So they have things to prevent fake reviews to keep their platform as trustworthy as possible. So Trustpilot in general is very good at instilling trust in general because it's just one of those things that is tougher to fake in this platform. By the way, we'll do a little bit of pricing comparison in the end. But generally, this is used for store-wide reviews rather than product reviews, even though they do have product reviews as well. So here's actually a really nice implementation for Trustpilot. And so they have their banner right after, say, like excellent 4.4 out of almost 9,000 reviews. So this is a good way to feature Trustpilot and social proof. So something to learn from this. And here, you also have ability to respond to reviews. So Trustpilot has this page as well, which is that like third-party thing, difficult to fake because like this is where all of those end up. And here the merchant can also respond to these reviews. So if you do get a negative review, you can go and try to resolve it. So helps with that client engagement. And of course, like Trustpilot also does kind of custom quotes for many merchants. So they can be a little bit on the expensive side. As you can see, like the $200 month plan is billed at $2,400 per year. And that only allows for 500 reviewing months per month. So you're actually going to be limited by this plan very quickly. That's why I don't really like Trustpilot. It's not really a platform where you'd often grow together with them. So you're just more or less likely going to be limited eventually. However, if you are, for example, in the UK, Trustpilot is super popular there. So it might still be worth considering. Next up, let's look into reviews.io. So this is one that has been gaining a little bit of popularity in the last couple of years. They really started only a couple of years ago. But they have pretty nice customizable review widgets. So they have all kinds of different ways to showcase those reviews. You're more likely to find something that fits your brand and theme. And then, of course, they also have this kind of customization when it comes to this product page attributes. So the reviews can be shown in many different ways. Here's one widget from them, but their widget library is actually on their site, so you can go and browse it if you want to. One additional nice thing with the Reviews.io is that you can also add specific ratings like fit, comfort, quality, size, these kinds of things. So if people are concerned about those things, they can check for those ratings. Now, one thing that is quite unique about this one is that it also offers a Q&A section. So this can be a good place to have these kind of common things that people ask in the review app. So that's quite a unique thing. But you don't necessarily need to have a review app for this. It's just an interesting one that they did implement it here. Now, Reviews.io also has the company reviews. So here's the separation. You might see that this product only has 4 product reviews, but they have 123 company reviews. So all of a sudden, I'm way more trustworthy of this brand when I see something like this. And as you can see on this one as well, they have photo reviews. Also, Google licensed platform, so you can have those review stars shown on the Google searches. And then they have flow features, etc., that allow you to customize your review, invites based on location, type of review, etc. So those are some of the things that will be also included in the latter 2 apps. So I'd say these last 2 or 3 are really the ones that are generally good alternatives for Loox. Now, let's move on to our next app. But before I do that, there's another example. So a lot of these widgets can be very customizable, and this goes to many of these review apps. So even if you don't like them at first glance, don't give up so easily. You can really still get the impression and the visuals that you'd like. All right, next up is an app called Judge.me. So Judge.me is a very popular app as well. They have almost 8,000 reviews and counting. So this is a pretty interesting one because it offers such great price for value. So if you are a smaller merchant, you're trying to stick within a budget, this can be the app for you. So just $15 a month, and it's pushing along these more expensive apps like Reviews.io, maybe Yotpo that's coming up next, etc. Trustpilot, to really show up with and prove their pricing is worth it, because this has so many great features already. Now, one thing with reviews is that collecting reviews is quite annoying. It's a tough thing to get many people to review your product. So one thing Judge.me does really well is that they're able to collect these reviews from email. So you don't actually have to have people go to the site, and they almost match Reviews.io when it comes to customization. So you can have this photo reviews just like you see in the Loox, and you can have Google shopping reviews as well. So you get these review stars. So that's a really nice feature there as well. Now, I'll show you briefly on a random dropshipping store how this might look like. Just customer reviews. Pretty much you can customize the colors, etc. So here you can have it pretty much the way you like it. Wouldn't worry that much about it. So I think this is one of the best ones to start from, especially for new stores, because they might need a high volume of review requests in order to get those reviews going. And of course, they have a free plan as well, which is quite robust. If you don't have many reviews yet, you can definitely get started with this one. All right. Now, I wanted to have one app. If price wasn't an issue, this is probably the one that I would pick out of all the different options. This is Yotpo. They've been around probably the longest out of the bunch. And in a way, some would say it's a bit of a legacy brand. Their pricing is quite high, to be honest. But they do have multiple ways to collect reviews from customers, including the email and the on-site widget as well. So you can get your reviews gathered. And then it's very easy to set up and have this actually also an ability to collect them from Facebook. So you can have a lot of different options, a lot of different review widgets. And really like their analytics backend here. Like this is by far better than anything on the competitors' side, but you do have to pay for it. This is also an official Facebook and Google partner, so you can have those review stars in Google searches. So that's a nice thing. They do also like look after the reputation, so less likely to be fake reviews. But here you see the Facebook stars, so that's a nice additional thing if you are going after Facebook, and you probably should, of course, like with retargeting at least, so helps with the clicks. So I would say Yotpo is a very good option for those who are data-driven and want to use that data to influence their future decisions when it comes to business, like when it comes to product utilization, like maybe even like copywriting, these kinds of things. And it's also a good choice for those who are migrating from other review apps, because it has a nice import feature. And one thing to consider here is that you can get started with Judge.me, for example, and then your long-term plan can be moved to Yotpo. Like that's completely feasible. I'll show you a couple of sites that are using it. So here's Steve Madden and Yotpo. You can see here like how their reviews are filterable, and then you can see like reviews with images, videos, who is the submitter, are like the pros, do they recommend the product, and even the sizing, too small, small, through the size, big, too big. So just imagine this on your clothing store or on your shoe store, and how much more likely you are to convert a visitor on about whether they should buy a size 9 or size 8.5, for example. So those can be very, very powerful things. And we see them like on a wide variety of stores as well. So they definitely do fit different kinds of niches. So here's one where it has a similar functionality. Here you have that filterable way of checking the reviews. So, okay, price. I'm curious if this is like more on the expensive side or not. Okay, it looks like affordable, great, affordable. Okay, so right now, like I'm pretty sure it's not like a complete ripoff. And then you can have a reviews page as well. Here's all the reviews, 50,000 5-star reviews on this page, like 31,000 of them are showing, powered by Yotpo here. So that's something that can be very powerful as a sole source proof aspect. So there are the review apps. Now, here, pay attention that many of them do start with a free plan. However, like you may not be running on that free plan for a long time. So you want to have a plan on like what you are willing to pay. And generally, it is easier to start on the platform that you are planning to stay. So even if you start with Judge.me, for example, like you wouldn't necessarily like, immediately want to switch to Yotpo like once you've got your reviews. So that's something to consider. It is another one of those hassles. And you can take a look at this. Like there's a lot of reviews on these Shopify stores, so you can find a lot of information. And one thing I'd say here is take a look at the widgets that they have, and then see if you like the look and feel of those widgets. Like it more and more comes down to how the widget fits your store's image and layout, so that you can get the most out of that. Because the customer at the end of the day is seeing the widget. And then of course, if you are doing a lot of Google advertising, Google shopping, etc., then you'd want to have those shopping feeds there. So that's also going to be massively important. Okay, that's the review. So hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A lot of great e-commerce optimization videos coming up in 2022 and beyond. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like it. Thanks.